And welcome back for News Talk. Look at this gorgeous set. We are thinking spring, even if it's not spring outside. And we're joined by Bob DeSanctis from Royal Landscaping, who usually joins us on Tuesdays at noon, but this is a special treat.
Well, a Sunday morning trying to make spring happen here in the Mohawk Valley.
If it doesn't happen, we'll make it happen. And so what do we have here?
So well, a couple things, not to interrupt you, but just forcing of spring flowering bulbs and of shrubs and trees. So these we potted up last fall, daffodils, tulips, and hyacinths, and they've been under the snow at JK, and I took them out about 3 weeks ago. We put them in a southerly exposed window, and here we go. There you have daffodils, and you have a little bit of spring.
Window because
more sun.
More sun.
Yep.
Okay, I can smell the hyacinths.
Okay.
I love that.
And then behind me in the vase, we have some pussy willows that I cut for forcing about 3 weeks ago. There's no water in here right now. I pruned some shadblow, which is going to be a nice white flowering spring plant. Here's a piece of forsythia, which just came off this plant that we have here called Show Off, which is going to be one of the first plants that blooms this spring. And
but we can't see
I could also, if you had one of these growing in your yard, you could just come over and prune it. Okay, take those, because the flowers are all set here from last year. Throw it in your vase and add some water, and you're going to have a nice yellow. You're going to have that bloom color in your house in the next couple weeks. Okay.
If you clip that off of there, that will bloom in your house.
That's called forcing. So, and then we're going to have this crab apple tree here, which is another spring flowering tree. Okay. And I was going to
show us how to prune it.
Well, this is another one we're going to force. It's a spring. It's going to be a pink flower. So I was going to prune a couple branches off this one too, and put them in the vase. And those will also, in about 3 weeks, bloom in your house. Oh, these plants are normally going to bloom for Mother's Day, the flowering crabs. Okay, so that's in the middle of May, or May 10th or 11th.
Okay.
The forsythia about the same time, maybe a little earlier, beginning of May.
And those are usually beautiful.
They're very
bright,
beautiful.
Vibrant yellow.
They are. You're right. But you could have a little bit of spring sooner by forcing the plants, and you don't affect the plants at all. And then
you're kind of tricking it. You're cutting the dead looking, or just starting.
Well, they're dormant.
Yes, the dormant. Okay, not dead, dormant.
Not dormant.
And you're bringing it inside, and then this is gonna think it's summer, spring.
Spring.
It's going to start flowering.
In the next couple of weeks, we're gonna leave this there, and we'll be able to show you how it comes to life. Okay.
We are. We're gonna keep that
and then
so we can show you periodically. What else do we have here?
What else do we have?
Pruning.
Yeah, well, like pruners, but. And then it's almost a time to start your seeds if you want to start your garden. And normally for us, about the middle of April, some people push it and do it at the beginning of April and start their seeds. Here I have some tomato seeds, and just simple, well, I have my wife's tweezers. She wanted what I was going to do with the tweezers.
What do you use those for? You
take
the seeds?
Because the seeds are so small, after you use some nice potting soil, you could use egg cartons, you could use little plastic pots, or you could buy some fiber, wood fiber pots. But the seeds are so small that you need to take a tweezers. You only need one seed, and you want to put it about 1/4 of an inch down below the soil, and then you would water this.
That's why I end up with like 4 tomatoes in one little thing, and it's just too much, and then you have to pull them apart.
Then you have to pull them apart.
If you use tweezers, that doesn't happen because you don't drop the seeds in there.
Well, it's a lot easier to set them in there. And then using almost like a greenhouse effect, you would put it in a plastic bag.
Oh, that's smart. And that's cheaper than peat pots with a little greenhouse on the top.
Right. Well, there's a lot of different ways people have been doing this. So you put it in the southern window and keep it moist, and they're going to germinate in about 7 days.
Okay.
And then you would just watch them grow.
So you can start your tomatoes right now. You
could. It's a little bit early, but yeah, in the next.
They'll be a little bit tall inside if you start them now, but in the next couple of weeks, yes, for sure.
They would get a little tall. You could also cut them back, and then they would get denser root system, and that would be okay too. So, just a couple of ideas. Spring will get here.
Thank you. You heard it from our landscaping expert. Spring will come. All right. Thank you for joining us.
All right.
And we love all of this stuff. More news is coming up after the break.